Shopping for a compact SUV can feel like walking into a buffet. You're faced with a ton of choices, each with its pros and cons. Somewhere in that mix is the Ford Escape. It's been around since 2001, and over the years, it's carved out a spot as a go-to SUV for folks who want something roomy, but not too big, practical, but still stylish, and fairly affordable. But if you're thinking about buying a used Ford Escape, there are a few things you really need to know, because not all Ford Escapes are created equal. Let's break down what the Ford Escape brings to the table, which years are worth a second look, which ones you should run from, and whether this compact crossover is the right fit for your lifestyle and wallet. The Ford Escape has always been a popular choice for small families, commuters, and anyone needing more space than a sedan without diving into full-size SUV territory. It's got decent cargo space, a comfortable ride, and a range of engine options. On newer models, especially from the third generation, 2013 to 2019 onward, Ford threw in more tech features, better interior finishes, and some genuinely nice driving dynamics. But here's the thing, the Escape's reputation is a mixed bag. Some years are incredibly reliable and offer great value. Others have been plagued by engine problems, transmission issues, and questionable build quality. So the question isn't just, should you buy a used Ford Escape? It is, which one should you even consider? To make sense of the Ford Escape's history, it helps to look at it in terms of generations. The first generation, 2001 to 2007, was a straightforward, no-frills SUV with rugged looks and available V6 power, nothing fancy, but dependable for its time. The second generation, 2008 to 2012, brought more refined styling and updated features, but it also introduced some serious mechanical issues that would haunt owners. The third generation, 2013 to 2019, marked a big shift in design, offering a sleeker look, a better interior, and a more car-like driving experience. However, despite the upgrades, it was far from trouble-free and came with its own set of mechanical headaches. The fourth generation, 2020 to the present, is where things get much more modern. Think sharper styling, better tech, improved fuel efficiency, and the option of hybrid and plug-in hybrid powertrains. Of course, with all those upgrades, you're also likely to pay a premium on the used market. If you're shopping used, there are certain years you should definitely cross off your list. 2013 and 2014. These two model years look sharp and offer a nice interior, but they're plagued with engine issues. The 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine in particular has a reputation for overheating, coolant leaks, and even catching fire in some extreme cases. Ford issued multiple recalls, but even with fixes, reliability just wasn't up to par. On top of that, transmission problems weren't unheard of either. Many owners complained of hard shifts, stalling, and overall jerky performance. 2008 to 2009. These second-gen Escapes suffered from a host of transmission issues, power steering failures, and electrical issues. While the styling is decent and they were very affordable, the reliability concerns outweigh the savings. Ford had several recalls during these years, and RepairPal ranks them poorly for long-term dependability. 2017. Even though this was a facelift year, the 2017 Escape continued to suffer from turbocharged engine problems, particularly with the 1.5-liter and 2.0-liter EcoBoosts. Coolant intrusion into the engine cylinders was a common complaint, which is as bad as it sounds. It's a kind of issue that can lead to a blown engine and thousands in repairs. It's not all doom and gloom. The Ford Escape can be a great buy if you go for the right year. 2010 to 2012. These models are far from flashy, but they're some of the most reliable Escapes ever made. By this point, Ford had worked out many of the kinks from earlier second-gen models. They're simple, straightforward SUVs, less tech, fewer turbos, and fewer things to break. Go for the 2.5-liter four-cylinder or the 3.0-liter V6 for the best performance. 2016. This model year hit a sweet spot before the major redesign in 2017. The bugs from earlier third-gen years had mostly been ironed out, and the reliability was much better. The 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine is your best bet if you want to avoid EcoBoost-related headaches. 2020 to 2022. If you've got a bigger budget, the newer 4th-gen Escapes are solid picks. They come with more modern tech, better fuel economy, especially the hybrid and plug-in hybrid variants, and improved overall quality. Just make sure the one you're considering doesn't have open recalls or software issues, which can pop up from time to time on newer vehicles. Common problems. Even in the better model years, the Ford Escape has its share of quirks, especially if you're shopping for a used one. Transmission problems are a well-known issue in the 2008 to 2014 models, often showing up as jerky shifting or full-on transmission failure, which can lead to a costly $3,000 rebuild. On top of that, EcoBoost engines are notorious for coolant leaks, which can seep into the cylinders and cause misfires, or worse, complete engine failure. If you're considering an earlier model, like those from 2008 to 2012, be aware of persistent electrical problems, including faulty sensors, malfunctioning power windows, and random dash warning lights. Rust is another concern, particularly with first-generation Escapes that have spent years in snowy, salt-heavy regions. Wheel wells and undercarriages are common trouble spots, so it's worth taking a careful look underneath if the vehicle has seen a lot of winters. As of early 2025, used Ford Escape prices can vary widely depending on the year, mileage, condition, and trim. For older models, like the 2010 to 2012 range, expect to pay between $5,000 and $8,000. These are generally reliable and make great choices if you just need a simple commuter or a dependable second car. Moving up to the 2016 models, prices typically fall between $9,000 and $13,000, offering a solid mix of modern features and overall reliability. If you're looking for something much newer, the 2020 to 2022 Escapes come loaded with up-to-date safety tech and infotainment systems, but they'll cost you, usually between $17,000 and $25,000. Of course, these figures can shift depending on how many miles are on the odometer, the overall condition, the specific trim, and whether you're buying from a dealership or a private seller. The Ford Escape can be a smart pick for certain drivers, especially those who want a compact SUV that's easy to maneuver and park, and also for those who value decent cargo space over upscale materials. It's a practical option if you're budget conscious, don't mind skipping some luxury features, and can find a model with a more dependable 2.5-liter engine, particularly from the 2010 to 2012 or 2016 model years. However, it's not the ideal choice for everyone. If long-term reliability is a top priority and you're aiming to drive well past 150,000 miles with minimal issues, you might want to look elsewhere. The Escape also tends to depreciate faster than rivals from Toyota or Honda, which means it's not the best bet for resale value. Additionally, it lacks the interior refinement of more premium SUVs, and certain model years, especially 2013 to 2014 or 2017, have known reliability concerns that are worth steering clear of. So, should you buy a used Ford Escape? Yes, but only the right one. The Ford Escape can absolutely be a solid used SUV if you pick a reliable model year and avoid the common pitfalls. If you're buying for affordability, utility, and decent everyday performance, a well-maintained 2010 to 2012 or 2016 Escape can be a smart buy. If you're leaning toward newer models, the 2020 and up Escapes are pretty good too, especially the hybrid versions if you're after fuel economy. Make sure you are picky. Do your homework. Avoid the problematic years with engine and transmission issues, and always get a pre-purchase inspection. The difference between a headache and a hidden gem is often just one model year away. Thanks for watching.